أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الصلوات ربي وسلامه على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My dear brothers and sisters, we thank Allah the Almighty, the creator of the heaven and the earth, and we thank Him for making us Muslims. We're thanking Him for sending us the beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best of mankind, the one, if you follow his footstep, that would lead you all the way to Jannah. May Allah make us among those who would enter Jannatul Firdaus, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. So we are going to continue our seerah, the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inshallah, this video would be Badr, the Battle of Badr number 7, inshallah. So inshallah, we will trying to wrap up, meaning we will conclude the Badr today, and if the time permit us, maybe we might do Surah Al-Anfal, so that way you would have an idea that the entire of Surah Al-Anfal is about Badr. So, but first and foremost, we will see if we could wrap up the Badr today, inshallah. So in our dars, in our last video, we talked about um, some groups, the last group, some group that came back from the Badr, meaning from the Quraysh side. We talked about the Meccan side that Zayd ibn Haris, one prophet gave him his camel to go to Medina and announce the victory of Islam. We talked about that, and we also mentioned that from the Quraysh side, meaning from the people from Mecca, from their sides, some batch of group of people, meaning some few people, the first batch of people who fled from the battle of the Badr, they came back to Mecca. The first batch of people. So among this first batch was a man called Haysaman al-Khuzai. Haysaman al-Khuzai, he was one of the Quraysh who fought against Prophet ﷺ in Badr. But when the war get tougher, they fled. There are so many groups of Quraysh that fled away from the Badr. So among this group, the first batch that reached Mecca from the Badr, among them was Haysaman al-Khuzai. So when Haysaman al-Khuzai reached Mecca, he started calling out and said, "Oh, people of Quraysh, we lost the war. Guess what happened? They killed Abu Jahl." And he kept naming the leaders of the Quraysh. He said, they killed Abu Jahl, they killed Umayyah ibn Khalaf, they killed Shayba ibn Rabi'a, they killed Utbah ibn Rabi'a, and so forth. He kept mentioning names after name after name. So people from Mecca, they were astonished. They were shocked. They were it was kind of like to give you a parable. Let's say a little tiny nations in Africa fight against US, and that tiny country got a victory. Did you see how amazing that would be? This is pretty much more like that, because the Quraysh, from the Quraysh side, there were the strength of the Quraysh were 3 times bigger than the Muslim side, because Muslim were only 313 people, comparing to Quraysh were over 1,000 soldiers. But yet Allah gave victory to Muslims. So it was so shocking when Haysaman was announcing this, that they killed Utbah and they killed Abu Jahl and they killed Shayba and so forth. People couldn't believe it. So they start thinking that this man went mad, like he's crazy. So at that time, Safwan ibn Umayyah, the son of Umayyah ibn Khalaf. We talked about Umayyah ibn Khalaf. So his son, one of his son, Safwan ibn Umayyah, he didn't go to war. So Safwan ibn Umayyah was sitting, was sitting toward the Kaaba, meaning he was sitting to, put his back against the Hijr Ismail. So someone went to Safwan bin Umayyah and said, "Don't you hear what this man is saying? What the Haysaman is saying? He's saying they killed your father, they killed Abu Jahal, they killed this and that." And Safwan also think this man went crazy, and he said, "Okay, so go back and ask Haysaman, where is Safwan? Aina Safwan? Go ask him what happened to Safwan. If he told you that they also killed Safwan, that means he's crazy." So this man went back to Haysaman. He said, "So you saying they killed such and such and such? What about Safwan ibn Umayyah? Did they kill him too?" And Haysaman replied, "Of course not. Right here, Safwan. I could see Safwan. Safwan is sitting backing against the Kaaba, so I could see him. And I saw his father and his brother got dragged by Muslim, and they killed him right in front of my face." That's when people realized this is a really, really serious matters. But as for Abu Lahab, we said that Abu Lahab did not go. He didn't go to Badr. Why? Because he paid someone to go, I mean, in his place. And that someone, owe him some money, so he decided to, send someone else in his place instead of going. And the Quraysh didn't also pressure him to go because at that moment he was the only leaders left for Banu Hashim. So they didn't pressure him. It is as if, you know, if they have to force him, it is as if they're telling him, what, go and kill your own tribes. So they didn't want to push to that level. Since he already paid someone to take his place, they let him be. But as of this is Abu Lahab. So Allah is saving the worst for the last. So Abu Lahab, when he heard Haysaman saying this, that they kill all these leaders, all these leaders. When he heard that, he couldn't believe it. He was in shock. He was in shock. So he went to Abbas' house. Abu Lahab went to Abbas' house, and Abu Sufyan came to join him at Abbas' house. And Abu Lahab asked Abu Sufyan. He said, "Please tell me face to face what these people are saying. Is it true? Can you please tell me exactly what happened?" And Abu Sufyan said, I mean, we know Abu Sufyan did not go to war because obviously he was the leader of the caravan. So, but based on those who come from the war, they explain everything to him. So now Abu Sufyan is explaining to Abu Lahab by telling him, from what I heard, they kill all our leaders. They kill such and such. They kill Abu Jahl. They kill Umayyah ibn Khalab. They kill Utbah ibn Rabi'a. They kill Shayba ibn Rabi'a, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So, and Abu Sufyan said, but for whatever reason, this, from the Muslim side, they had some fighters, they had some soldiers that we never seen before, and they had the bright face. They were riding horses. They were very strong men. It is as if the Quraysh were standing still, and these people would come and do whatever they pleased to them. They would catch them as a prisoner of the war, or if they wanted, they kill them right away. It is as if the Quraysh soldiers were just sitting or just standing there, hopeless. So they can do anything about it. When Abu Sufyan said that to Abu Lahab in the house of Abbas' wife, Abbas what Fadl was there along with the slave. There was a young slave man for Abbas. There was a young slave man in the house too. That slave young man was for Abbas. But this to show you that when Abbas told Prophet ﷺ, we already passed that he was a Muslim. Maybe this would confirm it because at this time the slaves, Abbas young, the slave of Abbas that were present in the room along with Abu Lahab and Abu Sufyan and Fadl, he was already a Muslim, but he was hiding his Islam. So when Abu Sufyan mentioned that there are some other fighters bright face, riding horses, killing, the Quraysh left and right. And this young slave start jumping over the joys. He said, "Oh, Ya Allah, oh my God, those were angels." He's saying those that you're talking about, that bright face riding horses, those were angels that Allah sent to help the Muslim. The minutes this young slave said that, because he said it and he didn't even realize. Sometimes when you're so happy, things come out of your mouth without even you thinking. So he could no longer hide his Islam because he was so joyful, happy, and excited. So the word just came out, and he said, "Oh Allah, oh those angels, they came to help Muslim." And at that moment, Abu Lahab could not take it. He was so furious, he was so angry. He jumped over that young slave, and started beating him up. He started punching the young slave. Obviously, the slave is a slave. That young slave could not even defend himself. So Abu Jahl, so that young slave could not defend himself. Abu Jahl kept punching him and punching him. He almost beat him to death. And the wife of Abbas, Fadl, was so angry, and she started grabbing Abu Lahab and said, "Are you going to kill? Are you going to kill the slave are you going to slave the master slaves of the house? Meaning your own brother Abbas, his slave. Are you going to beat him to death in his absence? Aren't you not ashamed of yourself?" So when Fadl said that, Abu Lahab turned around and hit her so badly, and she fell off, and she stopped bleeding, and she's saying, "Oh, really? So that's the best you could do?" After, when you realize the head of the household is not here, is absent, is that what you do to his family? Is that what you do to his slave? And is that what you do to his wife? And Abu Lahab was, felt so shamefully. He felt ashamed. He just left the house. He left the house, went, to his home, and from that moment, it was said that he was inflicted with a disease, like with a skin disease or virus. He was inflicted with a disease that he could not survive after that, and that disease, completely contaminated his whole body, and he died in his house rotten. Allahu Akbar. That's the same Abu Lahab that Allah revealed a surah, Tabbat yada Abu Lahabin wa tab. Tabbat yada Abi Lahab wa tab. Ma aghna anhu ma'luhu wa ma kasab. سيصلى نارا ذات لهب امرأته حمالة الحطب في جيدها حبل من مسد. The same Abu Lahab, the uncle of Prophet. This is how death comes to him. So then, the people from Mecca, they were wailing, they were crying over their dead bodies, over the fact that they lost the war. So many men got killed, like over 70 people got killed, and 70 people were taken as a prisoner. So, and Meccan people from the Quraysh, they start wailing, they start crying over the dead body. And Abu Sufyan called everyone and said, "You know what? From now on, wailing is banned, meaning I don't want no one to cry over their bodies, because we don't want to give the Muslim a pleasure, of making fun of us, because they know we are in pain. If we keep crying over our dead body, then this Muslim, they would they would love that. So they would want to see us even suffer more. So he banned the wailing. So Allah used that because sometimes when your loved one pass away, I mean, the fact that you cry, you share tears, that alleviate, it ease up your pain sometime. But Abu Sufyan is telling them, no, don't cry, keep it in. That even push them to even suffer more. So, and another amazing thing that took place when the Badr was taking place. was the war between the Persian and the Roman. The Persian, meaning the Assassin Empire, there was a war going on between the Persian and the Roman. That's what Allah said in Surah Al-Rum. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم غلبت الروم في أدنى الأرض وهم من بعد غلبهم سيغلبون في بضع سنين لله الأمر من قبل ومن بعد ويومئذ يفرح المؤمنون بنصر الله ينصر من يشاء وهو العزيز الرحيم. Allah said, the Roman Empire has been defeated in a land close by, but after their defeat, will soon be victorious within few years. With Allah is the decisions in the past and in the futures. On that day, shall the believers rejoice with the help of Allah. He helps whom He will, and He is the most exalted in might and most merciful. So this ayah was revealed. I think it was the seven, the seven of Da'wah, not seven of the Hijrah, but the seven of Da'wah. When Prophet became a prophet, 7 years after his prophecy, that's when the Surah Rum. It is a surah that that were revealed in Mecca. So this was before even Prophet migrated to Medina. So this surah was revealed. Allah said that the Roman were defeated by the Persian, because there was those two mighty powers at that time, the Roman and the Persian. So the Roman and Persian, they kept fighting back and forth. Sometimes the Roman win, sometimes the Persian win. But this time Allah said that Roman were defeated, but they're gonna have a victories within few years. So, and this is the day, the Badr, the day of the Badr. That's when the Roman earned their victory, as Allah predicted it. So when this ayah came down, Surah Al-Rum, Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anh, he had a bet at that time. There was betting was not like the haram or anything. So he bet with Ubaidah. He bet with Ubaidah because Ubaidah come to him. He said, "Oh, so now your prophet is saying that Romans. I mean, after being defeated like this, you think Romans going to win again against Persian?" And Abu Bakr said, "Yes, because Allah said so." And then the guy said, "Okay, let's bet." Abu Bakr said, "Fine." And he said, "So Abu Bakr, you tell me, when exactly the Romans are going to defeat the Persian? When? Tell me the year." So Allah said, "Fi bid'a sinin." Bid'a in Arabic, it's like it means few years. So it starts from 3 up to 9. From 3 years to 9 years, that's called bid'a. So what Abu Bakr did, he chose the middle. So he said, "Well, in 6 years, the Romans going to be victorious." So when he said that, and Ubaidah said, "Okay, fine. So let's have this bet." And so the 6 years passed. There was no fighting. Roman didn't fight the Persian. So 6 years passed, and Abu Bakr lost the bet. And there's a riwayah, and some people say it's a weak hadith. The Prophet told Abu Bakr, "So you chose 6 years. Why you couldn't tell him 9? I mean, because a bit meant from 3 to 9 years, but you said 6 years. Why you couldn't go up? Why you didn't choose 9, or you didn't choose 8?" So but Abu Bakr lost the bet on that. But so now, what Allah said, "Fi bid'i sinin," in few years, that the Romans going to win. So the Romans are, in the same day of Badr. Amazingly, in the same day of Badr, Heraclius from the Roman Empire, Heraclius, he launched a furious attack. He attacked the Persian king, the Khosrow. When he attacked the Persian king, Khosrow, then he had a strategy, because at that time, from the Persian side, the Khosrow had an internal issue. Two of his general completely betray him. Two of his general, his army general, betray him, and they refuse to fight with him. And among his own family, one of his family members, want to overthrow him from the powers. On another, his own family members want him killed, so that way he could take his place. So like he has this issue within the kingdom itself. So because of that, that's what Allah keeps telling us. Allah said to Muslim, do not break apart, do not misunderstood. So that way, all your power would be deflected. Because if you are united, you become very powerful. But the minute you start deflecting, the minute you start, fighting among yourself within your own rank, that's when the outsider, the enemy from the outside could come in and destroy you. That's what happened. So the Roman come in, they launch this furious fight, this furious attack against the Khosrow, meaning the Persian Empire, and they were able to defeat him. Why? Because the Persian empires had some internal conflict among themselves. They had a problem. They have an issue. Two general, betray the emperors, and the emperors. Some of the family of the emperors want him get to be killed. So because of this, they had this internal problem to deal with, and then Heraclius comes in and take advantage of the Persian. So that's what Allah said, غُلِبَتِ الرُّومُ فِي أَدْنَى الْأَرْضِ وَمِن بَعْدِ غَلَبِهِمْ سَيَغْلِبُونَ. Meaning, after they're being defeated, they're going to be victorious. So this victory that the Roman gained over the Persian, that was the same exact day that Badr were taking place, 1,000 miles apart. So amazingly, so the Roman were able to defeat the Persian. And the same day that the Badr was taking place, that the Muslims were defeating the Quraysh, same day. So then Ubay ibn Khalaf, the one who bet against Abu Bakr about how many years the Romans going to win, he got killed in the Badr. So he got killed in Badr. So there's no way Abu Bakr could go back to him and tell him, yo, well, see, Allah said Bid'ah Sinin, so here we go, because it was the eighth. I told you, when Allah said Bid'ah Sinin, it means from 3 to 9 years. But the Badr fight took place in 8.5 years of I mean eight and a half years after the surah was revealed. After the surah was revealed, 8.5 years or 8 years after the surah to Rum was revealed, that's when the Badr victory took place. Allahu Akbar. So, what is the status of people of Badr? What is their status? Jibril alayhi salam, the angel Jibril alayhi salam, the one time came to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and asked him about the status of people of Badr. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to Jibril, they are the best of us. The people from the Badr, they are the best of us. And Jibril said the same thing. Jibril says, yeah, so the angels who participate in the Badr, they are the best of the angels as well. You see, that's how those who fight in Badr, they have the highest rank. Highest rank. So the first person to die in the Badr is Harisa ibn Suraka. Harisa ibn Suraka. That was the first person to die in the Badr from the Muslim side. And he was at some in some riwayah, in some narration, he was just drinking waters, and the arrow came from out of nowhere and struck his neck, and he fell dead. So his mother, came to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, "Oh, Ya Rasulullah, oh Messenger of Allah, can you please tell me something about my son? Is he in Jannah? Because you promised them that if they get killed, they go straight to Jannah. Is he in Jannah?" Prophet said, not in Jannah, in Jannat. He's not in one Jannah, but many, many Jannah. As a matter of fact, he is in Al-Firdaus Al-A'la. He is in the Firdaus. Allahu Akbar. So the mother, she felt completely relaxed and happy because her son is in Jannah. Allahu Akbar. And another person that participated in Badr, there are so many of them. There is a book, a book. There's a book from Bukhari. The entire book is dedicated for those who participate in Badr. Individually, Bukhari would talk about each individual that participated in Badr and talk about them in details. So one of the Badr participants, that it creates so much chaos and anxiety and controversy. His name was Hatif ibn Balta'a. We're gonna talk about him, in more details, inshallah, and maybe in some other videos. But Hatif, just to give you a general sense about who is Hatif ibn Balta'a, he was among the companions, he was a Sahaba. He participated in Badr. He fought along with Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But in the conquest of Mecca, when Prophet, in the ninth of the Hijrah, when Prophet was, ready to conquer Mecca, Hatib, what he did, he wrote a letter. He wrote a letter to Quraysh to inform them, that Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is about to come to Mecca and conquer Mecca and completely take over Mecca. This is the treason. This is even in, you can't do that. If you do that in war, you get killed. Like this is unacceptable. You can never do such things. But Hatib, he wrote the letters and he paid a lady, some woman, and gave her this letter and said, and gave her money and said, go straight, do not talk to anyone, go right now all the way to Mecca and give this to the leader of the Quraysh and tell them that, just give it the letters to them. Once they read the letters, they would know. Exactly. Just go. Do not open the letters. Don't do anything. Take the letters as it is and bring it to the Quraysh. So this lady took the letters and she started going toward Mecca. And nobody knew about this. Nobody. Even Prophet himself did. Nobody knew about this. But Allah Azza wa Jal sent down Jibril alayhi salam right away. And Jibril went straight to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and tell him, Hatif wrote the letters to Quraysh and he gave it to this lady, and the lady is on her way now to Mecca. So make sure the lady do not reach Mecca before you get the letters, because she has all the information just to mess up the plan. And right at that moment, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam ordered Abbas and Ali ibn Abu Talib to go right after the lady. And he told them, there's this lady, she has the letters. Just take the letters away from her. Go and take the letters. Do not, make sure she doesn't reach Mecca. So right away, Ali ibn Abi Talib and Abbas, they followed the ladies, they chased her, and they found her all the way somewhere in the desert between Mecca and Medina, and they stopped her. And Ali said, oh lady, someone gave you something, a letter. Hatif gave you a letters. So just give us the letters, no question asked, and go your way. And the lady started saying, no, I don't have anything. I have no letters whatsoever. Ali said, I don't believe you. Because my Prophet ﷺ never lied. So if he said you have the letters, that means you have the letter. It said, you better give me the letters before I put you to shame. Meaning, if you don't give the letters, we're gonna have to remove, some of your clothes. Some of your whatever you're wearing, just to see if you could find it. Because that would be shameful. Because at that time, women are would die along not to even show their skins and stuff like that. They would protect themselves. They would always cover themselves and stuff like that. So the lady knew if she doesn't give the letters, they would probably take some of her clothes and trying to search her or whatever. She said, okay, fine, 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 I'll give you. And she had the letters hidden under her hair. So she curled her hair and put the letters under her hair. So she took off her garment and unwrapped her hair and took the letters and gave it to Ali. Ali ibn Abi Talib and Abbas, they went back to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and they gave him the letters. In the letter, it said from Hatib ibn Balta'a to the Quraysh, beware, Prophet and his companions are coming to Mecca to conquer. Allahu Akbar. Right at that moment, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Umar was so furious. He was so angry. He said, "Oh Prophet, let me just cut off his head, because this is a munafiq. This is a hypocrite. How could you do that?" Prophet said, "Wait," and he called Balta. He called Hatib bin Balta. He said, "Hatib, could you explain yourself why you do this?" You see how Prophet always, he always take his time and he acts before he reacts. So he asked Hatib, "Why you do this?" And Hatib said, "Oh, ya Rasulullah, oh Prophet, Messenger of Allah, you know I have no desire to go back to kufr. I have no desire to be a disbeliever. The only reason I send this letter because, as you all know, I have a family in Mecca. You guys are Quraysh, I'm not, but I have a family living in Mecca, and I participate in Badr. So more likely, you guys have other family, and you are honorable people, and you are well respected. Maybe your own family could protect, your own other family in Mecca could protect your family, so your other family there. But my only family are there, and I'm not there to protect them. So if they know, if they let's say if they find out that you and all of us are coming to Mecca to conquer, they know my family have no protections there. So they'll say, "Oh, so you, Balta, you're gonna come to Mecca to kill us? You're gonna come to Mecca to kill us? Guess what? We're gonna kill you. We're gonna kill your family. We're gonna kill your family. So we're gonna kill your family too. I mean, so since you want to come to kill us, we're gonna kill your family." So he said, because of that thought, I was afraid that if I write them letters, to inform that we are coming, hopefully, they would spare my family. They would not kill my family because they know because of me, I was able to inform them. So that way they would spare my family because I know they cannot do anything to you. You are the Rasul, you are the messenger of Allah. They can't do anything, but when it comes to my own family, maybe they could kill. And Prophet said, Sadaqa Hatif. Hatif has told the truth. And Umar said, Prophet, I still want him. Give it to him so I could kill him. Even if he's not a hypocrite, this is a treason. You can't do this. Even if you have families in Mecca, it doesn't matter. War is a war. You cannot tell our secret to our enemy. No. And this is what Prophet tell Omar. He said, Omar, what makes you think that perhaps Allah has already forgiven everyone from the Badr? Those who participate in Badr, Allah already forgiven all of them. So even if whatever sin they've done after Badr, who knows? Maybe Allah already have forgiven, all of them. And this man, he participated in Badr. He fought in Badr. He's a real Muslim. Yeah, he made a mistake, but Allah is willing to overlook that mistake and forgive him. You see? So when Prophet said that to Omar, then he calmed down and said, "Okay, fine." So this would tell you those who participate in Badr and those who participate in different wars, and those are real Sahaba. And Allah said, "Radiallahu anhum wa radu an." So this to show you that people who participate in Badr, Allah said, "Radiallahu anhum wa radu an." Allah already, is pleased with them, and they're pleased with Allah. But yet you will find some people from from different groups who would have audacity to curse Sahaba, to name Sahaba. This Sahaba did this Sahaba did that. And Allah already even said that I forgive them. What is your problem? Allah forgive them, and you have audacity to criticize them. You know, it's unbelievable. So Allah forgive this Sahaba. After they participate in Badr, Allahu Akbar. So in this, after the Badr took place and the Muslim war, win the wars. So the primary effect that took place right after Badr was two big things. The first and foremost, the Muslims are now a tangible force in Medina, meaning they have a real force now. So everyone knows Muslim are here to stay. And the Badr was one of the greatest. It was pretty much the greatest victory of Islam. Was Badr pretty much, and the Badr brought out two things in Medina. The first was hypocrisy, and the second was a Yahud animosity toward Muslim. Because remember, so when before the Badr, Medina was mixed. You have Yahud, and you have uh, we have and two Arab tribes. You know, the Yahud and two Arab tribes. So the two Arab tribes, most of them became Muslim, but not all of them. So not all of them. So those who became Muslim, they support Prophet ﷺ, and they're the one who accompany him to Badr. But those who were not exactly Muslim, they were how you call it? They were the pagan. So when the Muslim earned Badr, when they won the Badr battle, so all of a sudden the remaining pagan in Medina, they convert to Islam. But the reason they convert to Islam, not because they want to be a Muslim, because they have no other choice. Even though Prophet did not tell them, okay, you have to forcibly become Muslim, they know the Islam now is very powerful. They won their war against this disbeliever, against Quraysh, the mighty in powers. But yet Muslim as a few, they won that war. So all of a sudden, the few people left in Medina, they convert to Islam, not because they want to be Muslim, but because they have no other choice but to join Muslim. And that's when the hypocrisy started. And among those hypocrites, their leaders was Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul. We're going to talk to him. We're going to talk about him in details, inshallah. So that was the first things that pretty much that the post Badr brought out. And the second thing that Badr brought out was the Yahud animosity, because now Yahud knew that Islam are getting more powerful now. So they start getting they start becoming more more angry and backlashing and start saying bad things about Islam, or trying to trying to play the tricks and stuff like that. We're going to talk about that inshallah in almost in detail. So those two were pretty much were the primary effect that Badr brought in Medina, inshallah. So this would conclude the Badr for now. And after this battle, so the Islam would take over Medina, and the two things that I just mentioned, the hypocrisy and the Yahud animosity, those two things would come into light. Like they would come into right into a vision. Like they would start putting their animosity toward Prophet ﷺ and the Muslim, and they would start making saying bad things to Islam and stuff like that, trying to divert some Muslim out of the Islam and stuff like that. So our next lesson would be in more details about the post Badr, what happened.